I wanted everyone to just take this moment to check in with yourself. How are you feeling right now? Right? In terms of your emotions, in terms of the energy level that you have in your body right now, what is it for you? And today, in a short while, I'll be speaking on the theme on what do you feed your mind with? All right, so as we begin to settle, let's just get started with a practice, and later I'll invite you to share as to the question that I just posted, right? Which is, what do you feed your mind with? All right, great. So now taking this moment to allow yourself to find a comfortable sitting position, one that is supportive for yourself in this period of practice, and one that you feel comfortable. That's really important. So allowing yourself to invite your eyes to close if that's helpful. Otherwise, you may choose to just lower your gaze, and that's fine as well. So beginning this practice by taking in 3 beautiful deep breaths, opening to the awareness of what you're experiencing in this very moment. So whether is it that you might be feeling bored, anxious, tired, or perhaps happy or peaceful. Just welcoming and acknowledging exactly how you're feeling right now. That this moment is equally valuable for us to become aware of. So as you sit here, you might also begin to hear the sounds around you. So welcoming the sounds that you might hear, whether that's my voice or perhaps sounds created by nature. So whether that's the birds or sounds created by the cars even. So bring this attitude of gratitude that we are able to just sit here with ourselves in this space that we have given, so that we are able to discover with curiosity what this moment is like. Right now, inviting you to bring this awareness all the way down into the soles of both your feet. And for this moment, beginning to just realize how the feet is resting upon the ground. The sensations in the toes, the soles of the feet, as well as the heel. Just this sense of feeling into the contact that the feet makes with the ground that's supporting us right now. A beautiful way for us to feel into this sense of being grounded and supported. Gradually beginning to shift this awareness towards the ankles as well as our calves. Noticing the sensations in the calves as well as the shin. And if you notice that you have been sitting for quite a fair, prolonged duration of time, as if you're working from home, just notice how does the leg feel, when we sit for really long. In this moment, how is it for you? So attending to our posture as we sit. Now beginning to shift this very gentle awareness to include both our kneecaps, sensing into the left and the right kneecap. And so for some of you, if you notice earlier that you're feeling a bit tired, just observe where is it in this body that you can sense into what it's felt as tired, what these sensations are, beginning to sense and listen to just what this body is telling us in this moment. Feeling our shoulders, however they are, expanding this awareness down into both the arms, elbows, the forearms, right into the wrists and both your hands. In this moment, noticing the fingers, the fingertips. Now gradually beginning to shift this gentle awareness, attention towards the belly, observing the sensations right here. Noticing the aliveness of this part of the body, especially if you notice that the breath is prominent at the belly or the diaphragm region. You can even pay notice to this rise and fall of this belly. It comes with each in-breath and out-breath. So just staying with this beautiful present moment, simply attending to our body. And now beginning to expand this awareness to include the chest, the lungs, the rib cage, and also where the heart is. Nourishing yourself in this moment as you feel into the goodness of your heart. Breath by breath. And gradually beginning to shift this attention, awareness towards the neck region. Just feeling into the neck. That's the way it is, the sides, the front, the throat. Just noticing how this neck has been supporting you as you sit here past few moments. The way it holds the head upright. And feeling into the face, our facial expression right now. Noticing the mouth, nose. Just even at the tip of the nose as you sit here. Just feel into the air making its way into tip of our nostril. And naturally the out-breath would follow. And feeling into the eyes and the ears. Just feeling grateful that we are able to hear or even to see, or even to smell. There's so much of our senses can be pretty much situated at the upper body. Our sense of sight, our sense of hearing, sense of taste, of smell. Just being grateful that all of this pretty much working for most of us. Gradually and finally expanding this awareness to the top of the head, forehead region, as well as the crown. And just sitting in this spacious awareness of this body and breath. And now gradually beginning to just wriggle your toes. And just feeling into how the toes right now as they're resting on the ground. Moving your fingers as well. And if your eyes are closed, you may just begin to just drop your chin down, just feeling into a very gentle stretch as you bring the head down. Coming back to center and gently just tilting the head towards the back. Coming back to center, looking over towards the left. Coming back to center and looking over to the right. And from here, seamlessly transiting into a clockwise rotation of the head. And as we do this, just relieving whatever residual tension that we felt, if there is, and changing the direction of that rotation. And just coming back to center and inviting your eyes to open. And as you do that, if you like to, inviting everyone to take a deep breath in and just lift up your shoulders all the way towards your ears. And on the out breath, just bring it all the way to the back and down. Just letting go. Right, so breathing in and breathing out, rolling your shoulders all the way back. And now just choosing to change the direction of rotation. Rolling your shoulders towards the front, bring all the way back, rolling all the way to the front once again, bring it down and bring it all the way back. And just coming back to center. And lastly, taking this moment to allow yourself just pat on your shoulders, right? And maybe the other side as well, for just thanking yourself for making the time, right, to engage in this period of practice. Right, so if your eyes are closed, you may choose to invite them to be open. And I'd like everyone to just take this time to just briefly reflect upon the experience of the mindfulness practice that we have just engaged together as a group virtually. So the practice that we did earlier, that was the body scan practice. Right. So I'm also really curious, right? During that period of practice, anyone notice, what do we actually feed our mind with, right? So I'd like to just take this time to share with you this little story, right? Perhaps some of you might have heard before. It's called A Tale of Two Wolves. So a grandfather is talking with his grandson, and he says there are two wolves inside of us, which are always at war with each other. One of them is a good wolf, which represents qualities such as kindness, bravery, courage, love. And the other is a bad wolf, which represents things like greed, fear, hatred, revenge. And the grandson stops and thinks about it for a second. He looks up to his grandfather and says, "Grandfather, which wolf will win?" The grandfather quietly replies, "The one you feed." And so I'd like to just, invite you to just reflect and think a little about, what is it that we feed our mind with? Especially during those moments that, we might find ourselves getting upset because of the circumstances that we find ourselves in, or perhaps something unexpected that just throws us out from our comfort zone. What kind of emotions, right? And what kind of thoughts, do we begin to feed ourselves with? So I'd like to, just hear from you, in the remaining 2 more minutes that we have. What are some of these patterns that you're beginning to notice of yourself? What thoughts do you feed your mind with? So, as you just take this time to pause and write in the chat, I'd like to just share one more message with everyone. So I read to you a quote from this book that I really enjoy. What it says is, what distresses us is less the circumstances we find ourselves in, and more the energy we expend in resisting them. Let me say it one more time. What distresses us is less the circumstances we find ourselves in, and more the energy we expend in resisting them. And I find myself, really relating to this statement or this quote, which is sometimes, when things unexpected or when things don't go our way, inevitably, there could be a part of us that, spends or expends a lot of energy in resisting what it is, right? What's the actuality of our experience in this moment? And we might inevitably feed our mind, with a lot of thoughts about, how could this happen? Why does it happen to me? I can't believe it. I wish this wasn't the case. And we might begin to beat ourselves up, whether is it judgmental thoughts towards ourselves, or perhaps even towards the situation or towards others, right? And so, for today, I'd like to just leave all of you, with this question, which I posted right at the start of this session. And if you could just explore, till the next time that we meet again, and I'd love to hear from you on what's your experience and what you begin to notice. What do you feed your mind with? What kind of thoughts, what kind of emotions, do we feed our mind with, right? And it's the same with food itself, right? What do we feed our body with as well? All right, great. So just like to share, one of the comment that I'm noticing in the chat, thoughts that you felt that you're feeding yourself during the session is peacefulness and stability. Great, thank you. Thank you, Gupa, for sharing this beautiful experience. All right, so with that, I thank everyone, for tuning in once again, and see you next time. Bye.